Alright, here we are back in the project, and I've made some changes that have taken a few hours actually to get working properly. So instead of doing kind of a live coding style thing, I'm actually just going to show you what I've accomplished. So, if we go into our master item here, I've made a bunch of changes to our onHit component. The idea here is that when we have an item hit the ground, or another item, or what have you, it should make a sound. If you drop one of these bottles, it should make a clank sound, or a glass falling on the ground kind of sound. Something like that. And what I've done in here is a simple onComponentHit. So when the static mesh is actually hit, we're going to fire off this event, and we're going to do a branch. And we're going to get the velocity and the vector length. And this first one here is 100. If the value is greater than 100, we want to use a hard impact sound. I have 3 different sound types: hard, medium, and soft. Because you want a little bit of variation in how things sound when they're hit. Not everything sounds the same. I mean, if I just hit my desk here, that's a hard hit, but if I do it softly, it's different. So, 100, if that branch is true, then we're going to do a do once, because we don't want the sound repeating. If you don't use a do once, every time the component is hit, it'll fire off the sound, and that'll be repeating, and it can even mess up your background audio. We're going to do a play sound at location. We're going to get the current location of the actor, and we're going to play the hard impact sound. We're going to use the duration to actually set the delay, so we don't play any more than after it's actually finished playing. And after that, we're going to use our custom event called reset sound to actually reset the sound. When we trigger this event, it goes into a sequence and resets all of the do once nodes, just in case we're playing a hard impact sound and then a soft sound, or like the bottle bounces off a wall and hits the ground, and those are 2 different sounds based on velocity. So here we'd have the hard impact sound, the medium impact sound, and the soft impact sound. And these are just kind of the numbers that felt right in my testing. So 100 is like, if you're holding it at like height, person height, it's going to fall and make a louder sound. 60 is kind of like you pick it up off the shelf and then you throw it back down. 25 is if you just pick it up a little bit and then put it right back down. I was going to originally make that have no sound, but it gives a nice kind of feedback if there is some kind of sound. And the logic here is pretty much all the same. It's just a branch that checks the condition. If it's true, we're going to do once, play the sound, delay, reset, play it again if we need to. And in here we also have a not enough actor movement print string in order to know if we're trying to play a sound but we failed to get the proper length in the vector. So, of course, I also have these 3 variables over here that are exposed, because if we are inside the master item class, meaning that everything we do here will get propagated down to the child blueprints, such as the potion actor, the weapon actor, whatever. So if we want to change from this glass bottle sound to the sound of a book hitting a table, we could do that. Right here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. If we click on one of these potions, you'll see it has hard, medium, and soft impact sounds. Currently, all the items are going to have the exact same sound because it's the default. But if we click on this coin, for instance, it'll also have the bottle sound, which, of course, is not right, but we can change that. With that being said, let's give it a test. Let's just pick up one of these bottles here. And if I just set it down lightly, we should get a very small sound. You hear that? Very, very tiny. But if we take it up and we just kind of take it from here and drop it, that's a louder sound. And you notice it even did the sound twice because it bounced. Let's really throw this thing. See, that was 3 distinct different sounds. We'll get the tiny little sound. Got a little bit louder, and then if I really beam it, even louder. And this is currently on all these items. So, like I said, if I take this gold coin and throw it, it's going to make the same sound. But that's fine because we can change them on each individual actor, or change it based on the master class of the item. So I could make all of the potions sound like this, as well as all these glass bottles over here. I can make them all sound like that as well, which they currently will. But something like this metal tankard, I might want it to sound different, obviously. Kind of like a metal clank sound instead of a glass bottle sound. Alright, and that's pretty much all there is to it. I'm going to find some more sound assets to make all the rest of this stuff sound more accurate. And in the next video, I'll probably just walk through and throw a bunch of stuff around so we can hear all the sound effects. Thanks for watching. Consider watching the playlist on how the project got to where it currently is. And I'll see you tomorrow.